As a young person, have you ever been jaded by the constant ramblings and negativity of social media? Well, by the end of this speech, I hope to have persuaded you that fewer social media is better for younger adults and teens. Having said that, I feel as if we younger people should take intermittent breaks from social media for the following reasons. One, it keeps people from comparing themselves to others who they perceive to be better than they are. Two, this keeps them from being less productive. And three, it allows for there to be real interactions between people and lessens social anxiety. All of these factors are reasons why I feel as if our generation would benefit from taking breaks from social media every once in a while. For my first reason, I mentioned that not consuming extreme amounts of social media would keep us from comparing ourselves to others. This is because we would not constantly be bombarded with the flashy or bougie lifestyles of others, even though it may not be all it seems to be. According to MayoClinic.org, social media causes comparison of oneself to others, as the study found that those who would use it more than others were more likely to feel that their lives were not as happy as others. This same phenomenon is also highlighted by the American Psychological Association, which states that high social media usage is linked to poor body image, depression, and eating disorders, particularly among young girls. This goes to show how social media causes comparison amongst young adults, which does not help their self-esteem. Some people feel as if self-esteem is solely built by other family members and close loved ones, but with the ever-increasing digital connectedness of today's world, it has become much easier to be influenced by social media, whether it may be positive or negative. My second reason for the case for less social media for young adults is the yielding of less productivity. Unfortunately, the spontaneity of social media, as well as the anticipation of notifications, makes us unproductive and distracted, as we all want to know the latest news about friends, family, and celebrities at all times of the day. This causes us to get less done, as we are too focused on the lives of others rather than our own. According to verdict.com.uk, social media is shown to have a negative effect on the productivity of people in the workforce, as it causes them to get distracted, as well as take longer to regain focus on the tasks at hand. This displays just how effective social media are in distracting and keeping not only employees, but also students out of a state of focus on whatever task they must carry out. Also, it has been shown that social media affects productivity as it shortens the attention span that one has on specific tasks, making it difficult to complete said tasks. According to community.thriveglobal.com, attention span is also negatively affected by an overuse of social media, as completing different tasks within a certain time period becomes harder. This is another example of how social media has the potential to reduce one's attention span, thus decreasing productivity and therefore the completion of important tasks. For my third and final point, I would like to share that decreasing the amount of social media that one uses is very important in fostering real person-to-person relationships. This is important as it is necessary to establish true, long-lasting bonds between people based on common interest, the uplifting of one another, and the betterment of humanity altogether. Also, decreasing the usage of social media makes forming real-life relationships easier. According to medicalnewstoday.com, a study performed by Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz University in 2021 stated that social media has negatively affected the relationships of many of the 300 volunteers of this study. It found that 59% of said volunteers found it harder to communicate with others outside of social media, as well as ruining their relationships with family and close friends. This displays that social media has the potential to affect real life relationships by making the interactions between people difficult outside of social media. To add to this, social media is also a breeding ground for sentiments such as jealousy, insecurity, and depression. According to WFLA.com, social media also has the potential to breed sentiments such as jealousy and insecurity, because sometimes people may like the photos of others that they find attractive and cause their partners to suspect infidelity and therefore lose trust in them. This shows that even though social media has done a great job at connecting us to one another, this digital connection does not come without its drawbacks. In conclusion, Even though some people think that social media is a purely positive escape from reality, unfortunately, there are negative effects that have substantially outweighed the positive effects. Also, the adverse consequences of social media have forced us to become aware of how we as human beings have deteriorated our own condition and what measures we should take to reverse said effects. We must make sure that we reestablish truly unbreakable interpersonal relationships and place value on human interaction beyond the digital world. It is also imperative that we become conscious of our collective mental state as a society and how we should take immediate action to be able to reverse those effects and restore the moral and mental fabric of the world. Altogether, it is an absolute must that we use the social media platforms that we have developed for the betterment of human beings and to be cognizant of the effects of this digital marvel if we truly want to restore balance to the world.